Hello, guys. Welcome to this beautiful day. Today, I'm going to be trying to make a video, and my video is going to be a complete project from the start to an end. So it's going to be there are going to be a couple of videos coming up from this first one, and this is the first video. And this first video is going to be focusing on creating identity and access management user. So once I create an IAM user, I will go further to configure the user access and then multi-factor authenticator and and other credentials activated. Then the other videos will follow suit, and this going to go further to going to create a 3T application. So if you're coming across this, is going to be the first video, and other videos will be following suit. So generally, once we come to the console here, the first thing that we want to do is to move to IAM. And once we are in IAM, we want to create a user, and that user, we're going to use the user and work with it. So what we simply first of all have to do here is we go to users. And let me say this before I proceed. Generally, before you create a user, it's always advisable to create a group. When you create a group, you can attach various policies to the group, so much that if you create new users, you then just attach the new users to the group, and they automatically gain access to what the group owns, except that you want the user to have a particular um, uh, uh, um, maybe play a particular role in your account. Then you grant him just a particular policy. So here I'm going to create a user, and this user, when we create the user, we're going to put this user to let's say admin group. So I will just call this my where am I? I'm right here. I'll just call the user my my project, just like that. That will be the name of the user, my project. And I will go to next. When I go to next, I can add to user group, and I could attach policies directly. So like I said earlier, I want to add this to a group, and I will use admin group, and I will add this user. And so when I add this user, it's going to get all the permissions that are found in admin group, and then I will create. So automatically I have created. So if this is the user, my project here, and so if you come, you see the user has already all these policies because he automatically gained them because he's part of admin group. All right. So once this user has been created, this is admin group here, and this is the user here, my project. All right, this one. So once this user has been created here, we can go further uh, to security credentials. So if you open security credentials here, you discover that we have a console sign-in, we have multi-factor authenticator, and then we have access key. There are other ones like SSH public key for AWS code commit. All of this you could, activate all of that. But generally, I'm very concerned with the first three. So we could create a key. Where are we? We are here. Mhm. So we could first of all enable console access by him going through this, or we could use multi-factor authenticator once we've enabled console access, and then we could create an access key. So generally, let me just go further to just create access key, and that's what we're going to be using. So we say create access key, and we acknowledge everything here, and we accept, and we could name it. It's optional, so I'm just going to go further to just say create access key. Good, it's been successfully created. Once an access key has been created, you have this, you see it for just one time. It shows just one time. This is very secretive, and it's not something to expose, because if somebody sees it, he can get access to your console. So once you do this, you can clean your environment. So once you are here, the best way to store it is just to download this. And when you download it, it will have here my project key. And if you come to this file here and open it, you can be able to see it right here. Okay, so you have it here as, and then hold on, you can be able to open it a little bit, and so oops. So right there. So let me come back here, and then so I can be able to open it up, and you can see it. Still open it up a little. All right, and then you have the secret key. Just open this up right here. So you have it here, the access key is here and the secret key is here. So all of this, we can use this to be able to log in. And since we have created it, what we're simply going to do is, let's go back to our console and say done, and we can see how we can use the access key to log in. Meanwhile, you can always go further to enable multi-factor authenticator and user ID, and you're able to log into this. So let's go further. So if I want to log into my console using the CLI, what I simply do is, since I'm using my computer, I'm going to use item 2. You could use Mac terminal or whatever, uh, whichever you have, and I have item 2 here. So let me just open it up a little bit and make it much visible. So come back here. Let's just make it a little bit bigger for us to be able to work with it with ease. All right, it's kind of tiny. We really want to open it up a little bit so you can be able to see very well. So just open the text and make it a little larger. All right, I think this is better. So once we are here, once we are already here, the first thing that we have to do here is, it will be asking us that we should log in. So for us to be able to log in, we say here AWS configure AWS configure, and hold on, I think there's a typo error. Yep, let's clear this. Alright, so let me see what I type. I don't know what I type, but it's supposed to be AWS configure. Then yes, so AWS configure, and it's going to give us, it's going to ask for access key ID, and we know where to have it. We downloaded it already, so we can come back here and we'll be able to copy it from here, and we copy, and then we go back, and then we insert it here. Once you paste it, you enter, and it's going to ask for secret key ID, and you can equally copy the secret key ID here. Right here, you copy the secret key, and once you copy the secret key, you equally go back again to item 2 terminal, and we paste it there, and we enter. So once we enter, when it has been entered, we will have the default region name. The default region name, you have US East 1 is the code that we have here. At times we might not even have a display. What you simply do is that you have to come back to your console and go to global, and you can be able to see this is US East North Virginia. That's the name, and then the code is US East 1. So you can just copy it from here if you don't have it, and then you go back, and then you can be able to paste it. All right, so let's go back again. We are right here. So once we are here, we can enter, and it will ask us to default output format, and it's none, so we're going to leave it the way it is. And so once you are here, the the next thing that we need to do is to be able to see if actually this was created. And you need to know that once it has been created, it creates, if I mean, we need to know where it's stored, because it creates a folder, and this folder is stored somewhere in our computer. Just out of curiosity, you want to know where it is. And so it creates a folder known as aws. So you can always say cd2 .aws, and once you are here, we can list to see what is in here. And so when you open it, you see there is config and there is credential. So we can find out what is inside config by say cat config. And so when you cat from config, you see there is US East 1, that is the code for the region. And we could equally cat credentials, credentials. And when we cut credentials, it's going to give us our access key ID and our secret key, all of this right here. So that is how we can be able to get all of that. Moreover too, once we're already here, you can try to be, I mean, for you to be quite certain that we've done this successfully, we can see if we can be able to log into um, our console. All right, I know that we've configured everything, but we can try to see if we can log into the console. And for you to log in the console, what you simply do is we say AWS IAM user, IAM get dash user, get that user. Okay, sorry. And CAS AM. Okay, my typo error, AWS IAM get user. Excuse me. So once you type it the correct way, you can be able to see that it's taking us here, and you have the name, the path is this, the name is this, and the user ID, and everything is here. So that tells you that you have successfully logged into the console using your CLI. All right, thank you very much for watching this video, and in our next video we are going to see how we can in our next video we'll be seeing how we can be able to log into the CLI. Okay.